The Battle of Coral-Balmoral, fought between May 12 and June 6, 1968, stands as the largest, most intense, and most prolonged series of conventional combat engagements involving the 1st Australian Task Force during the Vietnam War. Following the widespread Tet Offensive earlier that year, and the subsequent May Offensive against Saigon, Allied Command sought to establish positions northeast of the South Vietnamese capital to intercept, disrupt, and block North Vietnamese Army, PAVN, regular regiments, and Viet Cong units as they attempted to launch strikes on Saigon or retreat back toward their border sanctuaries. Operating as part of the broader United States-led Operation Ton Thang Ai, Australian forces deployed troops from the 1st and 3rd Battalions of the Royal Australian Regiment, supported by artillery, engineers, armor, and naval aviators, into an area of Bien Hoa Province colloquially known as the Catcher's Mitt. On May 12, Australian units began airlifting into an open clearing to establish Fire Support Base Coral, intended to serve as a heavily defended base for artillery pieces and mortars that would support surrounding infantry patrols. However, due to deployment delays and command miscalculations regarding the density of enemy forces in the immediate area, the perimeter was only partially constructed and poorly organized by nightfall. Recognizing the vulnerability, enemy forces launched a sudden and massive ground attack in the early morning hours of May 13. Preceded by a heavy rocket and mortar barrage, PAVN infantry penetrated the base's outer defenses, briefly overrunning an Australian mortar platoon position and a gun pit of the 102nd Field Battery. Australian gunners fought at point-blank range, using direct fire and flesh-tearing Splintex anti-personnel rounds to hold their ground. With vital air support from helicopter gunships and Allied ground attack aircraft, the defenders beat back the onslaught after hours of fierce hand-to-hand and close-quarters combat, leaving 11 Australians killed and dozens wounded, while over 50 enemy dead were left scattered around the base. Following this baptism of fire, the perimeter at FSB Coral was heavily reinforced. Diggers dug deep weapon pits, and additional armored personnel carriers were brought in to fortify the base. Despite these preparations, the PAVN 7th Division struck Coral again on the morning of May 16, with a force estimated at 3 battalions strong. The assault triggered 4 hours of brutal night fighting, during which heavy artillery, gunships, and USAF flare ships pounded the advancing waves of North Vietnamese soldiers until the attack was finally broken at dawn. Seeking to expand their area of interdiction and tighten control over the infiltration routes, Australian commanders established a second position, Fire Support Base Balmoral, located approximately 4.5 kilometers north of Coral on May 24. This time, the Australians were bolstered by Centurion main battle tanks, whose heavy armor and massive firepower proved decisive. FSB Balmoral was subjected to 2 major regimental strength ground assaults on May 26 and May 28. But the combination of dug-in infantry, canister fire from the tanks, and coordinated defensive artillery repulsed both night attacks with devastating losses for the attackers. Over the remaining weeks of late May and early June, the Australians transitioned to aggressive armored and infantry patrols across the surrounding jungle, discovering and destroying extensive bunker networks, underground supply depots, and command complexes previously used by the North Vietnamese. By the time the task force officially withdrew on June 6, 1968, the 26-day battle had resulted in 25 Australian military personnel killed and over 100 wounded, making it the costliest engagement for Australia in Vietnam. Conversely, enemy casualties were immense, with over 300 PAVN and Viet Cong soldiers confirmed dead and vast stores of weaponry captured. The defensive victory at Coral-Balmoral successfully disrupted the North Vietnamese offensive against Saigon, dealing a severe tactical blow to the regular PAVN divisions and earning the participating Australian units several battle honors for their extraordinary resilience under fire.